So Artem, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on.
Thank you.
You're not in New Zealand. Tell us where you are and what are you up to overseas?
Well, I'm in San Diego right now. My coach lives here, so I came here to train a little bit, and I was hoping that the American swing was going to happen, and it was going to happen with kind of normal way.
Yeah.
But now Washington is canceled, and not sure what's happening with the U.S. Open, and it's a reduced draw at the U.S. Open, so I decided to go start playing in Europe. They have some big challengers coming up in mid-August. In Prague, in Czech Republic. So I'll be going there. So I'll start playing there.
So you have a place in San Diego and Auckland here in New Zealand as well?
No, in San Diego, I'm with friends.
Okay.
But I come here quite a lot because my coach actually lives here. So that's why.
Now I want to move on to your to tennis, your junior days. You were very successful in juniors. You won the Orange Bowl at 14, and you played your first junior Grand Slam at 15, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say was that?
I actually don't remember that. Yeah, if maybe.
That was from Wikipedia. I'll take that for the word. But what would you say was the hardest thing for you to adapt personally, transitioning from juniors to professional?
Well, I had problems with injuries actually. After I won the Orange Bowl, the year after, it's like 2 years. I was struggling with injuries with my back. I wish I'd known back then what I know now about how important stretching is, how important all the other stuff besides tennis is, and you need to do that a lot all the time. But that's what happened, and so it was difficult, with injuries, coping with that, and but when I was 18, I started playing futures. I played okay. I think I got up to like 450 in singles when I was 18. And then just started from there. Yeah, started the grind on the ATP.
Would you say you were prepared for it, the sudden transition?
Was I prepared for it? What was the question?
Were you prepared for the transition? I guess mentally and physically.
I think mentally I was prepared. Physically, I started being better. Of course, after all those injuries, I realized that I need to do a lot more physically to sustain. Because tennis is such a tough sport. You can get injured very easily. Mentally I think I was ready. I wanted to do that all my life, so that here I was, doing that when I was 18, playing futures, some challengers, and playing well, and hoping, having big dreams.
And I want to wind back the clock even further. Why tennis? I know it's a long story.
So I was born in Russia, and I was born in a town where we had one indoor court and a couple of outdoor courts, but we couldn't play outdoor because it was always cold. So my parents really loved tennis. They didn't play themselves because they couldn't. There was only one court. My older brother played tennis, and they really wanted me to play tennis. I was really reluctant to it. I didn't want to do it. I felt like I didn't like the physical activity at all. But they pushed me. They kind of tricked me into starting, and I loved it from the first day. I remember hitting against the wall on the first day. Well, not really hitting, but I hit like maybe 1 or 2 shots because I was 6, and then I loved it ever since.
Was it expensive to play tennis back in the day in Russia?
No, because it was a public. It was kind of a tennis school, and it was public. So I think anybody could have gone. We had maybe 10, 15 kids that were there every evening, maybe for 1 hour. And then I started to become real good right away, and I had some private time with a coach, about an hour a day, every day. So that was I think that was really good for me. That's how I got better.
And you moved to America, was it in Saddlebrook in Florida, and then you moved to Europe. Tell me about that.
So my movements were as follow. At 12, I went to Germany first.
Okay.
I was in a kind of a small academy in Germany. So I trained there for a bit. Then when I was 13, I moved to France. I had a coach there. And then I had a contract with this sports management group that had a place in Saddlebrook, and their athletes could come and train for free. So that's why I went to Saddlebrook when I was 13. 13, 14, I spent a lot of time there. That's when I won Orange Ball.
Yeah.
Because I think that was a good training there. I've never seen that before, like such a big academy, everything's organized and everything's there for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then from 15 to 18, I was kind of back and forth between Saarbrück and France.
And how did you find living in the different countries? Was it tough for you to I guess like the cultural differences, I guess?
The first one when I was 12 and I left to Germany, that was tough. I remember I was struggling because I was really young and not seeing my parents for a long period of time. That was difficult. Yeah. I was in France. I was in a really good environment. I stayed in a family, which became like my second family. Yeah. I still go back there all the time. Yeah. So that was easy because of that. The family had 2 kids about my age, so we became really good friends.
Yeah,
we both played tennis too. So that was easy. Saarbrück was sometimes difficult, sometimes not. I just really enjoyed the training process there and how organized everything was, and like I've never had that before. So I enjoyed that, and I wanted to use that to build my tennis. So that was also okay. So I would say my French time in France was my best time, just mentally. Yeah. I think I was lucky when I was young, when I was in all those places that taught me a lot.
You mentioned there was some tough moments in Saarbrück. What were the tough moments?
Well, when you're alone for a long period of time, like I was staying in this one. In a bedroom, like a condo in the academy, and I was by myself. And sometimes there were other players from SFX that would come, but they didn't stay for long. They would stay for a week or so, and then I'd be by myself again. And I think at that time I spent there about 6 months, and maybe 2-3 months I was alone, and so that was difficult. And it was back in the day where you couldn't just get on Skype and call your parents. My parents called me from a pay card, once a month. It was so expensive. So I would talk to them only once a month, which, when you're 13, 14 is not great, and you have no one else to talk to. So that was the difficult part. Yeah.
And was French or English a language barrier for you when you moved there?
No, because I studied both of those languages in school back in Russia. So French was very easy. I was speaking pretty fluently when I got there when I was 13. English was my second language after French, so it took me a little bit of time, but a couple of months in the States, and I was fine. So the language definitely wasn't a problem. Yeah.
I mean, now you now only play doubles. When did you make that decision to focus only on doubles?
I think it was back in October 2012, I want to say. Or 13, I don't remember the year. Where I was like, okay, I'm still 300 in singles. I'm not making any money. I'm making like $25,000 a year. I have all these expenses. I need to play club matches. I need to play money tournaments just to break even, because I'm losing money every time that I play. And I got to 150 in doubles 4 years prior to that, when I was just winning some doubles challengers, and I was like, well, I didn't even focus on doubles, and I was 150. So maybe that's the way to go for me. Maybe I should try and play doubles. And I was, at the time, I was like 500 in doubles. So I went, and in my mind, okay, I'm going full on to doubles. I'm gonna practice doubles every practice. If I'm playing singles, which I still had ranking in singles, obviously, so I was still playing singles, but I'm going to focus on doubles. So I'm going to serve and volley, which I'd never done in singles. Serve and volley, return volley on every single match I'm playing. So that way I can practice match situations in my singles for doubles. So I want to get better at doubles any way I can. And I think that helped me a lot also. My volleys get better, my reflexes get better. And I had 2 years of kind of fighting through futures challengers, and then winning the Stuttgart ATP event in 2000. I should remember the year. I think it's 14, maybe 15. That obviously got me to top 100, and and no look back from there.
And you transitioned to play for New Zealand in 2011. Why did you decide to do that?
2011, yeah. I started the process. Well, I wanted to live in New Zealand for that. That was my dream country, and I thought I could immigrate. Go through immigration based on the fact that I was ranked top 300 in singles at the time, beginning of 2010, and I just decided, okay, I want to let's use that. Let's try to come to New Zealand, based on that. And it was an extremely long and painful process, and there are a lot of people that actually helped me, that fought for me, and everything came through, and I was really grateful to all of them. And in 2011, in 2010, in the end, no, I started 2009, I think, the process. In 2010, in the end, I got my citizenship, and I was already playing Davis Cup in March of 2011. So that was extremely quick, and I got really lucky, and I was really happy about that. Obviously, that was the best moment of my life when I saw that approval of citizenship.
And when was the first time you visited New Zealand?
That was in 2009. I mean,
Okay.
Beginning of 2009, I came there to play futures, but I knew about it before that. My brother has been to New Zealand. I obviously, looked it up many times, and so I knew my heart was set.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And your first taste of major success was in 2014 when you won your first ATP doubles title when you were 28.
That was 14. That's good.
That was Stuttgart, right?
Yeah, that was Stuttgart. Yeah.
Okay. How would you describe your whole professional journey leading up to that moment?
I think it was meant to be, because I did spend my whole life, obviously, I was training, but I was training for singles.
Yeah.
But then when I started training for doubles, all of my energy went into that, and I knew I could do it, and I believed in myself, and just kept on working hard and trying to improve. And that Stuttgart actually was a pretty crazy story, where I think I was away from New Zealand for about 3 months at the Wimbledon time.
Yeah.
And I lost first round qualies in Wimbledon.
Yeah.
And I called my wife, and I was like, I've been away for 3 months, should I just come back? Like right now, I have challengers I can play, possibly a Stuttgart ATP event, because the cut would be weaker because it's right after Wimbledon. So I could possibly get in, but like, what do you think? And she told me, like, what are you talking about? All the sacrifices we're doing right now, that's to have you play those ATP events. So if you have a chance of playing that Stuttgart event, you have to play it. So don't come back. I'm like, okay. So I went to a challenger. I lost first round challenger right after Wimbledon. Yeah. Went to another challenger, first round again. Yeah. So I lost 2 times first round in challengers, coming to Stuttgart, no confidence, and all of a sudden we win the whole thing. That's just the beauty of tennis, is that every week is a different week, and everything is possible if you just work hard, believe in it, and it all just came together right there.
No. I was wondering, financially, how did you make things work out in the early days?
Like I said, I played club matches every year for many years in France and Germany. That would pay for quite a lot, because back in the day, I think they paid maybe even more than they do now. Okay. I played a lot of money tournaments when I could, especially when I was living in France, because they have a lot of them. I was winning a lot of those. So I basically would play a couple of money tournaments, get some sort of, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 euros, and then go play futures with that money. Probably lose it all there, because the prize money in futures could be like 100 euros per week. And then go back to playing money tournaments. So I had to balance it all out, obviously. But I think I did pretty well with that.
I mean, you're now top 100 in the world in doubles. So you play all the Grand Slams. What is your daily routine when you're playing a Grand Slam, let's say?
On a practice day, would wake up, but we probably get the court pretty early in the Grand Slam. If you want to play on the match courts, you need to go there really early. Otherwise, it's all reserved for singles players. So I'll probably wake up at 5:30, 6, get to the course by 7:30, and already start practicing at 8.
Yeah.
So you get that hour on the match courts, and after that you do, you eat, you go see the physio, you do some fitness stuff, and then you practice again around 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So a couple of hours a day, tennis, some rehab, some fitness, and back in the hotel. Days at the Grand Slams, they pass real quickly.
Yeah.
There's so much going on, and all you think about is getting ready for that first match, first, second, third match, and Grand Slams, they just fly by.
And do you usually arrive the week before, or do you arrive?
I try to arrive as soon as possible to a Grand Slam. I usually play the week. Well, actually, I always play the week before a Grand Slam. So wherever that may be, as soon as I'm done at that tournament, I'm going straight to the Grand Slam. So the earliest I've ever arrived was on Monday before the tournament. I actually played Monday 11 a.m. in Eastbourne. In 2018, we lost to Cabal Ferra first seed, and then we were on the next train to Wimbledon, and we practiced on the Tuesday. While we played the next Thursday, so we were there for 9 days before our first match, and I think that's a huge key to our success that year, because we made the quarters that year. We prepared for 9 days at those courts.
I'll get onto the Wimbledon 2018 later, but I read on your ADP profile that if you weren't a tennis player, you would be an investment banker or a stockbroker. Is that something you would consider after finishing tennis?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, you need to obviously study a lot for that. I don't know. I'm still planning on playing a lot. Hopefully many more years. I always said I'll be playing till I'm 45. And then I can think about it. But it will require some studying to do. Yeah, that's for sure. But I enjoyed that. That's for sure. Yeah.
Like you said, Wimbledon 2018 was one of your highlights. What do you remember from that tournament, and would you have done anything differently in hindsight?
Well, first of all, I always remember those practice days, the 9 days that we got ready for it. Like we put it all out there. We stayed at the course all day, every day, working on stuff. And first match was difficult. We won in 4 sets. I don't think we played our best, but we got through. It's always very important to get through that first round in the slam. Kind of lets you breathe, and it's like, okay, I got the first round through. Now everything is just a bonus. And then we were playing is it Bias and Peralta, and we're down 2 sets to love. And I remember just telling Division, we can do it. Anything is possible. Let's just fight for every point. I think we were like 2 points away from losing, and we ended up winning from 2 sets to love down. And from there, it's just boom, boom, boom. Like next match, same thing. We're 2 sets to love down. It's like, hey, let's do it again. Why not? We can do it again. And we did it. We went from 2 sets to love down again. And physically, I think you could see that we were stronger than our opponents, and we had more fire in us, so we could last longer. Both matches were over 4 hours. And then the quarterfinal, there are always a few shots that you remember from matches like that, and there are a few shots there, because we lost the first 2 sets 7-6, 7-6. And I felt like we could have won both of those sets. It was just a few points, just a few mistakes that could have gone out either way. But it didn't go our way. So we went down 2 sets to love again. We said, why not do it a third time? And I remember winning the third set 7-6, and like, we're going to do it. We're going to do it again. But then in the fourth, I remember I got broken at 4-all. I think it was like a 25-minute game. We had about 12 deuces, some amazing points, amazing shots, but then I ended up double faulting on the break point or something. It's like, well, what are you going to do? I tried my best, but I think we did everything we could. Just a few points here and there could have made the difference. I hope we'll get another chance like that.
The quarterfinal match, was it on a show court?
It was on court 3. It was right by the Players Lounge. So big court, and a lot of people were watching. Mike Bryan and Jack Sock, obviously big names. They ended up winning. It would have been great to play Mike in the final. It would surely have a Kiwi winning a Wimbledon. That would have been cool. We were close to that.
Yeah. I mean, if let's say if I were to talk to you again, maybe end of next year, what would you consider a successful season?
Next year.
Yeah, because obviously this year there might be no more tennis. Next year,
Yeah,
what would you say is a
year's
successful
tough,
season? Yeah.
Well, since last year was kind of difficult for me with partners and coaching that I had. So I dropped in the rankings. I went from 30 down to 70.
Yeah.
I think if I come back to 30, where I think my level is,
Yeah.
that would be a successful year. Yeah.
Any Grand Slam wise, like a semi-finals, quarterfinals? Would that be
I think every time I come to Wimbledon, I feel like and I believe that I can win it because it's my favorite surface. It's 5 sets. I know that I'm very strong in the long run. So why not winning Wimbledon?
Yeah.
Why not?
I guess one of the questions tennis fans want to know is how does finding a doubles partner work on the tour?
It's pretty straightforward. You just ask people. You just ask everyone. Most of the teams are set.
Yeah.
So you don't really have much choice. Sometimes teams split up, so maybe that's where you jump on and ask this guy, and the other guy's like, "Hey, you want to play? You want to play?" Sometimes they say yes right away, and you're set. Like it happened this time with my next partner, Igor Zelenay from Slovakia.
Yeah.
I just asked him in the end of February after the last tournament. It's like, "Hey, when the tour comes back, do you want to play together?"
Yeah.
And he said yes. So we're set playing now, so it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it could be more difficult. It's just depending on the situation. You basically just ask people, and they might tell you yes, they might tell you no, or they might not respond to you. So.
Okay. And how long does it take for you to tell if you and your partner have any chemistry on court?
For me, it takes 1 week. It takes one tournament.
Yeah.
And I understand it right away. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything that gives it away, or?
No, for me, it's just the feeling on court when we're playing together, when we're playing a match. Win or lose doesn't matter. It's the actual. It's the feeling that I have. It's like, okay, with this guy, I'm going to do really well.
Yeah.
Or it would be someone else. I'll be like, well, this is going to be tough. We need to come up with some solutions because this is not going to work. So, yeah, I think most people feel it right away. Most. Yeah.
How difficult is a doubles partner split? I assume it's never always mutual.
It's never mutual, no.
Yeah.
It's always tough. It also depends on how you split and when, because the timing is everything. Like I got pretty much screwed twice for a grass court season for the best surface that I always have good results at. People seem to dump me just before that, and that happened to me 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
But that didn't really stop me, and every year I won a grass court event, and then I made quarterfinal Wimbledon.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I had a good partner that would that we stay together and we played for a while with going into grass, then I can do even better. So hopefully that will happen next year.
And best player you found partnered with?
Best player?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say Eric Budarak, American guy. We played 1 week together. We were supposed to play longer back in 2015, I think, or 16. And we beat Roddick and Fish in Atlanta. We made the semifinal. We lost in the 3 sets to Gilles Muller and Colin Fleming, and I felt like we could do anything. We would be so good. But then he decided to quit and become assistant tournament director at the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
So that didn't work out.
Yeah. You haven't had me yet as your partner.
Yeah, I haven't. No.
Maybe next year. I think next year the Wimbledon doubles title is ours.
Okay, let's do it. You got to get some ranking app though, because we're not going to get in.
True, that's true. Yeah, I prefer the deuce side though.
Which side?
I prefer the deuce side. The deuce.
Deuce side, perfect. Because I'm playing on the ad. That's perfect.
Because I'm a lefty. I don't mind hitting the cross court backhand, and then I'll set you up with the forehand volley to put away.
That's a perfect combination. The lefty on the deuce, the righty on the ad. That's perfect. You got it.
Final question, Adam. At 34 years young, is the best yet to come?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for sure. You see, look at Federer. He's 38. He's playing singles still.
Yeah.
So for sure. Yeah.
And what do you think you need to work on specifically to make you even better?
Well, tennis-wise, there are always things to work on. It's never going to stop. But I think for me right now, most importantly, is keep the body healthy, so I can stay on the long track and play many weeks in a row and all that. So that would be my main focus from now on. Because if I can play every week in, week out, I'll be good.
All right, cheers, Adam. Thanks for the great chat. Yeah, one last thing before you go. So we do for the start of the podcast. Can you just say, "Hi, I'm Artem Sitak, and you're listening to the Double Bagel," just for the start of the podcast?
Double Bagel, okay.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Artem Sitak, and you're listening to Double Bagel.
All right, cheers, Adam. All the best, and I'll talk to you later. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Good
All right,
stuff.
bye now.
See ya.